Okay, welcome back. Time to drill these holes. And as I remember, I said I'm using 632 size bolts, 1 inch long. And a 632 measured in fractions of inches says it's 9/64. But fractions of inches don't tell you enough, so I use metric. Okay, so in metric, the bolt diameter is 341. Okay, so that's 341. The book says use a 5/32 drill bit. Okay, the 5/32 drill bit is 390. That's a lot of difference. Okay, so what I have is I have a set of metric drill bits that I bought from Amazon not too long ago, this past year, and it has a 3.5 millimeter, and the 3.5 millimeter is 340. Okay, 3.40. The hole obviously is undersized, not sure why, but it's 340, and this is 341. That's going to be close enough. And so I'm going to use, instead of the 5/32 drill bit, it'll give too much of a clearance. I want it to easily push through, and so you know, I leave nothing to chance. I already tested this on another old mount that I had, and it works fine. So, and the drill I use is a wonderful tool. It's the DeWalt 20 volt drill, and it can hold any kind of bit, so it's I don't have to use like the kind of bit that has this on the end of it, a hex on the end of it. And this was a gift from my son for Father's Day this past year. I use it all the time now for my airplane. So I've got the engine mounted, and you can see I used a black Sharpie marker to mark I'm talking about the two little dots there in the center. I had several trials, obviously, you can see. But the two dots are where I'm going to drill. Those two dots were made by the center point drill, and so I just blackened them up so I could see them better. And then, so we're just going to go ahead and drill these. And so that's a starting point. Now you just got to make sure you're over it, centered, and keep it vertical. And the nice thing about this, it can go very slow. Not putting a lot of pressure, trying to hold it vertically. Okay. This is nylon. I love nylon. And it's a very sturdy material. So now that is not quite where it needs to be, so I'm going to drill that out. And now let's see if it'll go through. It's not going to go through. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. The 632 bolt hex head needs a 7/64. So I have a 7/64 hex T-handle here. And so what I'm going to do is screw this all the way in and let the threads ream it out. Make sure I got plenty of distance, and yeah, I should. Okay. Now all I'm going to do is spin this hex head around enough to make it loose. And so that's a much better fit than having a loose old hole there. And so that should hold it good and tight. Looks nice and vertical. Okay, so I'm going to do that times 3 more times. One more tip about drilling things out. Don't try to hold it with your hand. I own a removable bench vise. Works very handy. Clamps to the bottom of the table here. I fold the cloth back just to make sure it's nice and tight against the table and doesn't slip. And the other thing that does is this bench vise is pivotable. You can pivot this thing all around, but I have it sitting vertically, and it helps when you are going to do this by hand. If you're not going to use a drill press, I don't own a bench size drill press, so I do them vertically. They work out well. I do them by hand, and they work out well vertically. But the holding the piece is essential, and invest in a small little vise like this. Thank you very much.